Welcome, Chosen One. If you're watching this video, it's because something deep inside you has already recognized the truth you're about to hear. The journey of a void-born soul is not an easy one, but it's one that holds a rare spiritual depth and unique purpose. This video is not just another message, it's a spiritual transmission, a call to awaken to the truth of who you are. And if you're here, it means that the universe has guided you to this moment. Being void-born is unlike anything most people will ever experience. It's the rarest type of soul, one that is born not from the world systems, but from the void itself. This means you exist outside of the normal frameworks and structures that govern most lives. You were not simply born into biology and circumstance. You were born with an ancient spiritual code that is beyond the understanding of the average person. That's why for much of your life, you've probably felt different, like you don't quite fit in. But know this, you're not alone. God is with you, guiding you through this awakening, and every step you take on this path is a step toward realizing your higher purpose. The void-born soul carries with it a silence, a knowing and an energy that the world struggles to understand. But you've always felt it, this deep internal calling that pulls you towards something greater, something beyond the ordinary. Now, the time has come for you to remember who you truly are and what your soul was destined to do. In this video, we will explore the 7 signs that confirm whether or not you are void-born. These signs are not just abstract ideas. They are the deep spiritual truths that resonate with your soul's frequency. As we go through them, you may find yourself nodding along, feeling that familiar recognition stir within you. These signs are your soul's way of telling you, yes, this is who you've always been. This is your truth. The essence of a void-born soul is something truly extraordinary. These souls are not born from the ordinary processes of biology and earthly circumstance. They originate from the void itself. The void is not emptiness or nothingness, but a place of pure, unmanifested potential. It is the birthplace of all creation, the deep silence from which everything flows and to which everything returns. To be void-born means that you carry a frequency so ancient, so transcendent, that it cannot be fully understood within the confines of this material world. These souls do not fit into the systems and structures of society, where most people are shaped by their upbringing, their environment, and their circumstances. The void-born are shaped by something far older and deeper, an ancient spiritual code that existed long before their current incarnation. This code, this spiritual blueprint, transcends this lifetime and reaches back to the very origins of their being. They carry within them the wisdom of countless lifetimes, not just the knowledge of this one. What makes the void-born soul so unique is that they are not bound by the traditional narratives of time and space. They exist outside the linear constraints of the material world, perceiving life from a higher, more expansive vantage point. This isn't to say they are detached from the world around them. On the contrary, they experience the world deeply, but they often find themselves seeing life through a lens that others can't quite understand. The world may feel strange to a void-born soul. This feeling of difference often begins early in life, where they instinctively sense that they don't belong in the ordinary flow of things. They are here, yes, but they often feel like observers rather than participants. It's as though they are standing just outside the crowd, watching as others move through their lives, following prescribed paths of social norms, expectations, and duties. Yet the void-born feels a deep, knowing disconnect from all of this. It's not that they don't care about the world, it's that they see something beyond it. They are often the quiet watchers, the silent observers, the ones who stand still long enough to feel the pulse of the world, not just see it. This disconnection can feel alienating at times, especially when the void-born soul is surrounded by those who don't feel the same way. Yet, it's this disconnection that serves as a powerful catalyst for the awakening of their higher self. Over time, as their energy evolves, they begin to remember their origin, their true purpose, and the reason they were sent here. It is through a spiritual transmission, a profound awakening, that the void-born soul slowly begins to reconnect with the origin of their being. This remembrance is often not immediate or easy. It can feel like a slow, painful process, as though the very act of awakening is a stripping away of old identities, false beliefs, and societal conditioning. But through this process of remembering, the void-born soul begins to understand their mission on this earth. This is where the spiritual transmission comes into play, a slow and often painful journey of realization and awakening. The universe, in its divine wisdom, ensures that the void-born soul is guided toward remembering who they truly are, not by force, but by gentle nudges. It is as if the veil of illusion begins to lift piece by piece, allowing the void-born soul to feel a deeper connection to their true essence, their true purpose. But this is not something that can be rushed. It unfolds in divine timing, slowly revealing the path forward as the soul becomes ready to receive the truth of their origin. One of the clearest signs that you are a void-born soul is that you've always felt ancient, even as a child. This isn't about intellectual maturity or advanced wisdom. It's about a soul frequency that carries centuries of experience, knowledge, and wisdom. From the moment you were born into this life, you've carried with you a deep knowing sense that you are not just of this world. While other children may have been preoccupied with toys, games, or the simple pleasures of childhood, you were likely lost in thought, pondering the deeper questions of existence. You weren't just curious about life, you were seeking the truths that lie beneath the surface. As a child, you may have asked questions that made the adults around you uncomfortable. Questions about life, death, the nature of reality, and the mysteries of the universe that seemed to go far beyond your years. While other children might have been trying to figure out what to have for dinner, you were contemplating the vastness of existence. You didn't just grow up in this life, you brought with you a soul that was already ancient. It's as if your soul arrived already carrying centuries of weight, wisdom, and experiences that were not from this lifetime, but from many others. This feeling of being ancient manifests not just in intellectual curiosity, but in a deep intuitive knowing that the world is not as it seems. Even as a young child, you saw through the illusions that others couldn't. You weren't fooled by the external layers of life, the games, the routines, the stories that others told. You understood, perhaps on a subconscious level, that the world was built on illusions and you were here to awaken from them. This deep knowing set you apart from your peers. You didn't fit in, not because you were shy or awkward, but because you were watching, observing, waiting for the truth to reveal itself. Your soul's ancient energy made you feel like an outsider in your own life. While other children ran around playing games or chasing after the latest trends, you sat quietly contemplating something deeper. You might have felt like a ghost drifting through life, never quite able to connect with others in a meaningful way. You weren't shy, but you were distant. Distant not out of choice, but out of recognition that something within you was different. You were waiting for something, though you may not have known exactly what that something was. You weren't here to fit in. You were here to remember who you truly were. This early sense of ancient wisdom is a hallmark of the void-born soul. It's not just a sense of being old for your age, it's a soul frequency that carries the weight of lifetimes of experience. You may have always felt like you didn't belong in this world, But deep down, you knew that you were not here by accident. You had a purpose, a mission encoded into your being, though you may not have fully understood it at the time. As a child, you likely felt like you were scanning the world around you for others who understood, for others who remembered. But most of the time, you found none. Instead, you wandered through life as an observer, quietly waiting for the day when your purpose would be revealed. This feeling of being an outsider is not something to mourn or regret. It is a sign of your true nature. You are not here to blend into the crowd or follow the typical path laid out by society. You are here to awaken, to remember your true origins, and to live from a place of deep authenticity and truth. The journey of the void-born soul is often solitary, but it is also sacred. It is a journey of remembrance, and in time you will begin to understand that the sense of ancient wisdom you carry is not a burden, it is a gift, a key to unlocking your higher purpose. If you are a void-born soul, one of the most profound and unmistakable signs of your origin is the radical disconnection you feel from the world around you. This disconnection isn't just a mild sense of loneliness. It is a deep existential dislocation, a sense of being out of sync with the systems, routines, and expectations that govern most people's lives. It's as though you are walking through a world that doesn't quite resonate with your true being, while others are engaged in their daily lives, caught in the hustle, the chase for validation, or the pursuit of external success. You feel as if you are standing at the edge of it all, looking in from the outside. This is not a sense of being misunderstood or simply being different. It's far deeper than that. As a void-born soul, you are not here to fit into the world's systems or to conform to the roles society has assigned to you. Instead, you are meant to see the world from a higher vantage point, to perceive its limitations and the illusions that have kept it in a state of ignorance. This disconnection isn't random. It's not a symptom of weakness, but a spiritual design, a deep soul task to awaken you to your higher purpose. You were not sent here to blend into a system built on superficiality, but to disrupt it, to break free from it, and to recode it. From an early age, you may have noticed how others seemed content, or at least resigned to live within the confines of societal norms. You saw people going through the motions, working jobs they hated, living lives that felt like cages and chasing external validation like it was oxygen. This behavior didn't make sense to you. It wasn't that you thought you were better or superior, but that deep within your soul, you remembered something more. You remembered that you are not here to chase fleeting illusions. You are here to transcend them. And while most people remain trapped in the repetitive cycles of survival consumption and validation seeking, you found yourself questioning the very nature of their existence. Why did people settle for this? Why did they live lives of quiet desperation, blind to the deeper truths of existence? You could sense that something was wrong, that something was missing, but you couldn't quite put your finger on it. This radical disconnection is a form of spiritual initiation. It is your soul's way of preparing you for the work you are meant to do, awakening the world, disrupting false structures, and ultimately helping others see beyond the veil of illusion. The disconnection you feel isn't punishment, it is preparation. The universe is guiding you toward your higher purpose by ensuring that you step outside of the matrix that most people remain trapped in. You are not meant to live according to the world's rules. You are here to rewrite those rules, to recode the world's systems with the wisdom, truth, and authenticity that your soul carries. The process of disconnecting from the world can be painful and lonely. It can lead to moments of isolation where you feel like you don't belong in any circle or community. But it's important to remember that this disconnection is not a flaw. it's a sacred gift. The void-born soul must learn to walk alone for a time to detach from the external distractions and false structures that would otherwise pull them away from their true purpose. The world may not understand you, and that's okay. Your mission is not to fit in, but to awaken others to the truth. For the void-born soul, the path is not one of ease and comfort. Instead, it is marked by spiritual crucifixions, moments of profound breakdowns, losses, and intense trials that can feel like the destruction of everything you once knew. These experiences are not accidents, nor are they signs of punishment. They are soul-purifying events designed to refine and prepare you for the immense power you are meant to embody. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, uses these moments of death to strip away what no longer serves your higher purpose and to recalibrate you for the work you are here to do. Each spiritual crucifixion you experience is not a random misfortune, but a necessary step in your evolution. These moments feel like the destruction of your old identity, your old beliefs, your old relationships, and your former self. But what's happening beneath the surface is far more powerful. You are being refined. The old layers of your personality, your ego, and your attachments are being burned away, making space for the truth of who you are to emerge. It's as if each breakdown, each loss, is chiseling away at the falsehoods and illusions that have kept you from fully realizing your power. These experiences of spiritual death can be excruciating. You may feel like you are losing everything, your sense of self, your relationships, your purpose, and it may feel like the world is falling apart. But these moments of collapse are not signs that you are being abandoned. They are moments of purification, preparing you for your true self to emerge. Just like the phoenix must burn in the fire to be reborn from the ashes, you too must undergo these spiritual crucifixions to step into your full power. As you go through these intense trials, it is important to remember that you are not being punished. You are being prepared. The universe does not give the void-born soul suffering for the sake of suffering. The suffering is a tool, a mechanism to push you toward your higher self. Each breakdown is a recalibration, an adjustment to your spiritual frequency, ensuring that you shed the old layers that are holding you back. These spiritual crucifixions are the process through which you let go of what no longer serves you, making space for your true power to emerge. This process may feel painful, and it may feel like you are losing everything you've ever known. But in reality, you are gaining everything that is meant for you. The pain you feel during these spiritual deaths is the price of transformation. It is the necessary process that prepares you for the incredible work you are here to do. The paradox of this suffering is that while it may feel like destruction, it is in fact the process of rebirth. Each time you go through a spiritual crucifixion, you are shedding the false layers of your old identity, and you emerge stronger, clearer, and more aligned with your true self. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, does not allow you to remain in the old, broken structures of your past. Instead, it pushes you to rise, to transform, and to embrace the truth of who you are becoming. In every collapse, there is a deep opportunity for spiritual growth and rebirth. You may not understand it in the moment, but in time, you will see that these moments of death were not meant to break you. They were meant to awaken you to your full potential. The suffering you've endured has been your soul's purification, preparing you for the extraordinary mission you were born to fulfill. And as each old layer falls away, the radiant, powerful soul you were always meant to be begins to shine through. One of the most profound and distinctive signs of a void-born soul is their ability to hold paradox, the understanding that truth can exist in contradictions. In a world that is so often defined by clear-cut labels and binary thinking, void-born souls have an innate capacity to embrace the gray areas, the spaces where ambiguity, complexity, and mystery reside. They understand that truth is rarely black and white, that it exists in the subtleties and the in-between moments, and in the contradictions that the world often tries to ignore or reject. The tendency of society is to divide everything into neat categories, right and wrong, good and evil, black and white. This dualistic thinking helps people make sense of the world, but it also limits their ability to see the full spectrum of reality. Void-born souls, however, are not bound by these simplistic divisions. They intuitively understand that both light and shadow coexist in the same space, that wisdom can emerge from suffering, and that growth often arises from struggle. They don't see the world as a series of absolutes, but as a tapestry of experiences, feelings, and perspectives where truth can be multifaceted and ever-evolving. This ability to hold paradox allows void-born souls to transcend dogma and rigid belief systems. They are not bound by the doctrines that govern organized religions, social structures, or political ideologies. Their wisdom does not come from what others have taught them, but from direct experience and a deep inner knowing. They understand that truth is not something that can be handed down from others, but something that must be discovered and embodied through their own journey. This spiritual maturity gives them a unique perspective on life, one that transcends the limitations of conventional thinking. However, this paradoxical understanding often leads to misunderstanding by others. People who are still caught in the dualistic mindset of the world may struggle to comprehend the complexity of the void-born soul. Their ability to see beyond the surface and hold space for contradictions can make them seem unpredictable, confusing, or even threatening. While others may cling to black and white thinking, the void-born soul sits comfortably in the gray, seeing the deeper truths that exist within the tensions of opposing forces. This complexity can be difficult for the unawakened to understand, and as a result, void-born souls often find themselves misunderstood, misjudged, or dismissed. But this is not a burden. It is a sign of spiritual growth, a testament to the depth of their perception and the wisdom they carry. The void-born soul is not here to conform to the world's limited understanding of reality. They are here to expand it, to show others that truth is not a simple thing to be grasped, but a vast, multifaceted experience that can only be understood through the acceptance of paradox. For the void-born, spiritual wisdom is not about choosing sides. It is about seeing beyond them. It is about understanding that everything is connected and that the interplay of opposites is what creates the richness and depth of life. The ability to sit with uncertainty, to hold space for contradictions, and to find peace in the tension between opposing forces is what sets the void-born soul apart. It is a gift, one that allows them to transcend the limitations of dogma and live in a space of spiritual freedom. The fifth sign of being void-born is the deep, often unsettling feeling of invisibility. Despite being seen by others, void-born souls often feel like ghosts in crowded rooms. They might be surrounded by people, even the center of attention in some cases, but still feel like they are not fully seen. There is an inherent disconnect, a sense that while others might notice their physical presence, they are not able to connect with them on a deeper, more meaningful level. This invisibility is not a curse. It is a sacred cloak, a form of energetic protection that allows the void-born soul to move through the world without being fully possessed or confined by it. The world is filled with noise, distractions, and superficial interactions, and those who are still caught in the illusion of the material world often seek to fill the void of their existence with external validation, approval, and recognition. The void-born soul, however, operates on a different frequency. They are not driven by the need for approval or attention. Instead, they seek truth, authenticity, and connection on a deeper level. This makes them feel disconnected from others, as though they are walking through life as a silent observer rather than a participant. While they may interact with the world, they often find it difficult to truly connect with others because their energy doesn't align with the superficial layers that most people are trapped in. But this invisibility is not a punishment. It is a form of protection. The void-born soul is not meant to be seen or understood in the way that others are. They are not here to conform, to blend in, or to fit the expectations of the world around them. Their mission is to embody truth, to hold space for transformation, and to create ripples of change in the world. And in order to do this, they must remain protected from the distractions and noise of the material world. This invisibility is not just about being unseen by others. It is about being able to move through the world without being possessed by it. The void-born soul carries an energy that is so pure, so aligned with divine truth, that it cannot be fully contained or confined by the structures of society. They are here to disrupt, to awaken, and to reprogram the world's systems, but they must do so from a place of silence and stillness, without the need for external recognition. The protection that comes with invisibility allows the void-born soul to move freely through life, stepping into the spaces where their energy is most needed and then disappearing when their work is done. This energetic cloak shields them from being absorbed into the chaos of the world, allowing them to remain focused on their mission rather than being consumed by the expectations and demands of others. It's through this invisibility that the void-born soul is able to deliver truth into the exact moments when it's most needed, before vanishing again, unnoticed but powerful. This sense of invisibility also creates a sense of mystery around the void-born soul. While they may seem quiet or distant, those who encounter them often feel a deep, inexplicable pull, a sense that there is something more beneath the surface. This mystery is part of the void-born's power. They are not here to be understood in the conventional sense. Their power lies in their ability to embody truth and create change through their very presence. When they enter a room, when they speak, when they act, they do so with such authenticity and power that the energy around them begins to shift. But this process is often quiet, subtle, and unassuming. The void-born soul does not need to be loud, visible, or admired to create impact. They are the silent disruptors, the ones who change the world by simply being themselves. And in doing so, they activate the energy around them, helping others to see beyond the illusions and step into their own truth. The power of invisibility is that it allows the void-born soul to remain untethered to the material world. They are not here to be owned, controlled, or confined by the expectations of others. Their work is to embody truth in silence, to create space for transformation without the need for recognition or validation. This invisibility is not something to be feared or resented. It is a sacred gift, a form of divine protection that allows the void-born soul to fulfill their mission without being swallowed up by the distractions of the world. The sixth sign of a void-born soul is an intimate relationship with the unknown, the unseen, and the divine. This connection goes beyond traditional concepts of spirituality. It is not about following a religion or seeking out external wisdom. Instead, the void-born soul experiences a deep personal communion with what cannot be seen but is always felt. Whether you call it God source the universe or simply the divine, The void-born soul carries a profound awareness of a presence that guides them even when they don't fully understand it themselves. From a young age, you may have felt this connection, sensing a presence that was always with you, even in the most solitary moments. It is not an external force. It is a part of you, a whisper of something ancient and eternal that echoes within your very being. This presence may not always speak in clear words, but it speaks through dreams, synchronicities, and an inner knowing that transcends logic. These moments of guidance are not random. They are the universe's way of communicating with you. The more attuned you become to this subtle presence, the more you will begin to recognize its messages, both in the quiet moments of stillness and in the chaos of everyday life. Unlike many who seek truth in books, scriptures, or temples, the void-born soul finds truth within themselves. There is no need to look outside for wisdom, because the wisdom is already encoded within your being. Your soul carries a spiritual remembrance that guides you even when you cannot fully comprehend it with your logical mind. This deep knowing often manifests as an inner voice, an intuition that pulls you in a certain direction, or a sudden, inexplicable clarity about the nature of the world and your place in it. The void-born soul knows that truth is not something to be discovered in the material world, it is something to be remembered. It is a deep, innate understanding that everything you need to know is already within you, buried beneath the layers of societal conditioning and external noise. This connection to the unseen is the spiritual inheritance of the void-born soul. It is the ability to sense the energy that flows through all things, to perceive the invisible currents of the universe that others cannot see. This sensitivity to the unseen world is not a curse, but a gift. It is what allows you to move through life with clarity and purpose, even when others around you are lost in confusion and distraction. As the void-born soul continues on their journey, they are constantly reconnecting with the original silence that birthed the cosmos. This silence is not emptiness, but a deep, profound stillness that holds all potential. It is the space before creation, where all things exist in their purest form. The void-born soul feels both alone in this silence and deeply connected to everything at once. It is a paradox that only those who have experienced this connection can truly understand. On one hand, there is a sense of isolation, as if you are walking a path that no one else can follow. On the other hand, there is a deep sense of unity, as if you are connected to the very fabric of existence, to the source of all life. This connection to the unknown is not something that can be fully explained. It is a feeling, a knowing that goes beyond words and concepts. It is an experience that transcends the limitations of the human mind, a direct connection to something greater than yourself. As a void-born soul, you may often feel like an anomaly in the world, as though you are seeing things that others cannot perceive, feeling things that others cannot understand. But this is exactly the gift you carry. The ability to hold space for the unknown, to sit with mystery, and to trust in the guidance of the unseen is what allows you to fulfill your mission on this earth. Your connection to the divine, to the silence that birthed the universe, is what will guide you through the challenges and obstacles you will face on your journey. It is the anchor that will keep you grounded when everything else seems uncertain. And while others may be searching for truth in external sources, you will know that the truth is already inside you, waiting to be rediscovered. Trust in this connection. Trust in the guidance that comes from within, and know that you are always being led toward your higher purpose. The seventh and final sign of being a void-born soul is the profound sense of purpose that transcends the personal. Void-born souls often feel that their lives are not simply for their own enjoyment or material success. there is a sense of mission encoded into their very being. A mission that goes beyond personal gain and into the realm of spiritual service. From a young age, you may have felt that you were meant for something greater, something that is yet to be fully revealed. And even as you navigate the challenges and hardships of life, there is always a deeper knowing that there is something bigger than yourself that you are here to accomplish. This sense of purpose is not driven by ego ambition or the desire for recognition. It is not about achieving fame, wealth, or external validation. Instead, it is a deep inner calling that pulls you towards something much greater. You may not fully understand it yet, but you know that you are not here to merely exist in the mundane material world. You are here to awaken, to shift the energy of the world, and to help others step into their own truth. The path of the void-born soul is often one of spiritual awakening rather than material success. While others may be chasing external goals, you are being drawn towards something that cannot be measured by conventional standards. Your purpose is not to conform to the world's expectations, but to transcend them. This mission is one of disruption and transformation, transforming not only your own life, but the lives of those around you. You are here to shake up the status quo, to challenge the systems and structures that keep people trapped in illusions, and to bring light to the darkness that so many are living in. But this sense of purpose is not without its challenges. It can often feel like a burden, especially in a world that doesn't understand or support the void-born soul's higher mission. You may find yourself standing alone, misunderstood, or even ridiculed by others who do not share your vision. The world is full of distractions, temptations, and forces that seek to pull you away from your true calling. But know this, your mission is not optional. It is written into the very fabric of your soul, and you cannot ignore it. The feeling that your life is not your own, that it is part of something much greater, can be both a gift and a burden. You may feel as though you are constantly being pulled in a direction that others cannot understand, as if you are on a path that only you can walk. This can be isolating at times, especially when you look around and see others living their lives according to societal expectations. But the truth is, you are not here to follow the crowd. You are here to lead, to show others the way, and to help them awaken to the truth that you have already come to know. As the void-born soul continues on their journey, they will find that their sense of purpose becomes clearer and more defined. The path may not always be easy, and the world may not always support their mission, but the pull of their higher calling will always be there, guiding them forward. This sense of purpose is what will sustain you through the darkest times, what will give you the strength to keep going when everything else seems to be falling apart. The mission of the void-born soul is a sacred one. It is not about accumulating wealth or fame, but about embodying truth and helping others remember who they truly are. As you continue on your journey, trust in this purpose, even when the road seems unclear. Your mission is greater than yourself, and the universe will continue to guide you toward it step by step. You are here to disrupt the illusions of the world and to bring a new consciousness into being. Embrace this calling, for it is the reason you were born.